Hello, it's Christy Gray, your newest hype girl and astrologer. Welcome to the Cosmic Hotline.
Welcome to your weekly dose of astro with me, your host and astrologer, Christy. I have so many episodes incoming where I'll be answering your questions. I have some expert guest takeovers planned, and there's going to be a few updates from me on the horizon. But right now, there is so much happening in the cosmos. I really want you to be across the celestial 411. So with that being said, you've got a lot to look forward to, but today it's important we dive into the transit, which is Saturn in Pisces. Here's how I'm envisioning this episode's going to roll. Let's start by laying the foundation of the planet Saturn. We can then dive into and explore the constellation of Pisces, and then we'll look at how these two manifest when they're combined. At the end of this episode, I'm also going to be sharing what this means for every single zodiac sign. Now, I've talked a lot about Saturn on the Cosmic Hotline. Saturn is the planet of discipline and responsibility. I would not be the person that I am today if it wasn't for the planet Saturn. Saturn forces us to grow and evolve, which I'm going to be diving into in a moment. But I will never forget the significance of my Saturn return around the age of 28. And the person I am today and the astrologer I am today is because of this powerhouse planet. Now, Saturn moving into Pisces really marks the end of a cycle because Pisces is the last sign of the zodiac. It's going to be moving into this constellation today as I'm recording, which is March the 7th, 2023. Where it will stay here until 2025, and then it dips its toes into Aries, but due to the planetary orbit, it's going to move back into Pisces, and it will finally move into the constellation of Aries in 2026. So this transit is going to be providing us with 3 years of growth and transformation. So what can we expect from this transit? Let's start by looking at the planet Saturn. So unlike Jupiter, which rewards us for our efforts, Saturn requires us to work hard and develop self-discipline. It is our greatest teacher. It challenges us to mature and to develop character. We can learn so much from traditional astrology. What I don't agree with is this concept of good or bad. In traditional teachings, there is malefic and benefic. And Saturn is known as malefic because it essentially relates to challenge and struggle. I've heard some really pretty harsh words be thrown around about this planet. I want to reframe this for us because Saturn is associated with perseverance, with discipline, with challenge, and taking radical responsibility. When experiencing a Saturn transit, it can feel like an endurance test. Maybe this is where it gets a bad rap. But this mighty planet is supporting our actualization of our talents, our capabilities, so that we can step into our soul's purpose. You can't tell me that this planet is bad after hearing that. Now let's look at Pisces. This constellation is known for its intuitive, empathetic, and generous nature. And you may remember we immersed ourselves in the sign back in episode 36. Alongside the Pisces new moon. Do you know those moments when a light bulb goes off in your head, or you might be spending some time in nature and just feeling one with the energy around you, or you have this intense and unwavering moment of gratitude or a deep knowing about something that just cannot be explained? If you've ever experienced anything like that, that's when you're having a Piscean experience. So when these two are combined, the best words to encapsulate their essence is Saturn in Pisces represents spiritual and metaphysical responsibility. Over the next 3 years, we'll be asked to take responsibility for our beliefs and values, our own spiritual journey, and how we can continue to deepen our relationship with our higher self. To do this, we need to ask ourselves some powerful questions. You know I had 1 or 2 of these up my sleeve just for you. I want you to get cozy, write these down, or bookmark this point in the episode so you can come back to these. Number 1, what is my purpose or mission in life? Remember, your inner wisdom holds so many clues, and this question can help you ascertain the direction you should be moving in. Number 2, what are my deepest values and beliefs? I am so big on values, knowing your top 3 values and then making sure that your goals are aligned with your values will always ensure that you're moving in the right direction. When you have a deep understanding of what you value and what you believe rather than what your best friend values and believes, rather than what social media is telling you, it helps you to not only gain guidance and inspiration of where you need to go, but it helps you to make decisions that are more aligned to your higher self. Number 3, what brings me joy and fulfillment? By asking this question, it's going to help you to recognize where you might be going through the motions of what you think you should be doing in life rather than what you want to be doing in life. Whatever your answers are, whatever you choose, I want you to know that with Saturn involved, it will require taking responsibility and cultivating discipline. So this speaks volumes to consistency. So the question is, what are you willing to commit to? Now, you know I'm all about the high vibrations around here, but it would be a disservice to you if I didn't quickly highlight the low vibrational energy of this combo. Because if you choose to ignore this energetic influence, you could be drawn into negative patterns of behavior, such as doom scrolling, substance abuse, or shutting yourself off from connection. We need to take responsibility, all of us, and cultivate discipline to avoid these pitfalls. Because low vibration Saturn and Pisces will ask us to face these questions. In what ways do we numb ourselves and why? And where do we shut ourselves off from connection, choosing to be lonely rather than being alone? I'm popping in with a quick public service announcement, and that is the most important part of the Cosmic Hotline is you. Have an astrology question you need answered? Nothing is off limits. Whether it's a question about your natal chart, the 411 on Mercury retrograde, or what is the significance of a particular transit or activation. Submit your question today with no strings attached, or select the option to have your question answered live, just like an astrology session I'd have with a client. Text or call 043 17 Venus or submit your question via the show notes below. So what does this transit mean for each zodiac sign? Let's take a look. I am very aware that this doesn't take your entire natal chart into the equation, and so I'm going to give you something to chew on today, and you can take note of your sun sign and your rising sign and think about these themes and how they fit into the bigger picture of your life. Aries, facing emotional wounds and learning to trust others. Taurus, finding greater meaning and purpose in life through spiritual exploration. Gemini, cultivating deeper intimacy and emotional connections with others. Cancer, focusing on personal growth and overcoming limiting beliefs. Leo, learning to balance individual creativity with group collaboration. Virgo, navigating changes and uncertainty with resilience and adaptability. Libra, deepening relationships through honest communication and vulnerability. Scorpio, healing old wounds and transforming negative patterns of behavior. Sagittarius, balancing work and personal life and finding greater inner fulfillment. Capricorn, finding creative ways to express oneself and embrace personal identity. Aquarius, learning to be present in the moment and finding inner peace. Pisces, finding greater inner strength and self-love through overcoming past pain and trauma. So this week, I thought we'd do something a little bit differently, because one of the things that was always a part of my vision for the Cosmic Hotline was storytelling. Because anytime you hear somebody's story, or I'm able to share something through a storytelling lens, is storytelling helps to build inspiration and it helps you to feel a deeper sense of connection, because what we tend to do is we recognize our own journeys in others, whether we feel inspired or we empathize, or it can give us a greater sense of contemplation and reflection that leads to a light bulb moment. I'm very aware, though, over the last few weeks that the Cosmic Hotline has turned into an information podcast, and I am promising you that I'm going to get back to the essence of storytelling through an astrological lens. So I really thought about this week and what I wanted to share with you, and I wanted to share Saturn and Pisces, but think of it through the hero's journey. So our hero this week, let's call them Violet. Violet has been living her life as usual, going through the motions day after day. But one day, something shifts. A realization dawns on Violet. She's meant for something greater. She feels this call to embark on a quest and to explore the unknown and to discover her purpose. This call to adventure is not easy. It requires Violet to step out of her comfort zone, to face challenges and obstacles she's never encountered before. But Violet, she's determined, and with the help of her mentors and guides, she begins her journey. As she moves forward, she discovers that this journey is not just about finding her purpose, but about discovering her true self. Violet encounters trials that test her strength. You could say they test her patience and even her faith. But with each challenge, Violet learns and she grows stronger. And just when she thinks she has it all figured out, she faces her greatest test, a dark night of the soul where she questions everything she's ever known. She feels lost, alone, and defeated. But in that darkness, a light shines through. A realization dawns on Violet that she is not alone, that she has the strength and support of the universe behind her. And with that realization, she emerges from the darkness, transformed and renewed. As Violet returns home, she brings with her the wisdom and insights gained from her journey. She's definitely not the same person she was when she started, but she's stronger, wiser, and more connected to her purpose. That is the hero's journey, a journey of self-discovery, growth, and transformation. And when you embark on your own journey, no doubt you'll emerge stronger on the other side. So as Saturn moves through Pisces, embrace this call to adventure, to explore the unknown and discover your purpose. Face any challenges with courage and determination, knowing that with each step you'll grow a little stronger and wiser, transformed and renewed, ready to share your wisdom and insights with the world. Wherever Pisces sits in your natal chart, this will be the area where you'll be asked to explore the lessons of this transit, whether it's facing emotional wounds, finding greater meaning and purpose in your life, or learning to balance individual creativity with group collaboration. There's something for everyone to contemplate today. So what are you going to commit to during this transit? Remember, with Saturn involved, consistency is always key. Whether it's a creative practice, a spiritual ritual, or simply committing to self-love and self-care, take responsibility for your growth and transformation. Thanks for tuning into this week's episode of the Cosmic Hotline. I hope I've provided you with one or two things to contemplate on. Join me next week as we are exploring Pluto moving into Aquarius and what this means for you over the next 10 years. Until then, keep exploring the stars within and without, babes.